Yes, it was 31st of May 1905 that 12 motorists gathered at the Brisbane School of Arts. It's still there today in Ann Street to form the then Automobile Club of Queensland. In the end, there were 18 foundation members, and 10 of those just happened to be in the medical profession, either doctors or dentists. So it was the well-to-do that tended to be motor vehicle owners. Well, at the very beginning, as it is today, to look after its members. But the other thing, of course, too, is that governments pretty quickly cottoned on the fact that here's a great milk cow in motorists, you know, through taxes and charges, etc. So right from the beginning, there was that need for mutual self-protection. It's the same 108, 109 years later.
Those original motorists, they obviously were a minority then, and they wanted their fair share of road space. In the very beginning, it was about lobbying, and it didn't take long though before it began to do other things, in particular the road service operations and also insurance.
As it is today, the club was concerned very early to make sure that any government imposts were fair and reasonable. But over and above that, in a state like Queensland, the big issue was we've got these motor cars, where is the road network? We simply didn't have a network which was worthy of the name road network in Queensland at the turn of the 20th century. So a very early challenge for the RACQ, and look, it's been a long, hard battle which still continues, but I think when we look at the road network we do have in Queensland today, much of the credit for that can go to the RACQ.
The Roadside Assistance Service started in 1925 and has been operating 24 hours a day since. The really good thing about this today is that if you look at world's best practice in roadside assistance technology and service levels, they exist here in Queensland. So we are the benchmark globally at the moment for roadside assistance service delivery, and that's something we're extremely proud of. Well, I think, look, natural disasters in Queensland go hand in hand throughout our history, and RACQ's always been there, and you can imagine an organisation with the resources that we've got, both in terms of equipment on the ground, our communication systems and our personnel. More recently, in the floods of 2011, everybody in Queensland would remember 75% of the state was underwater at one point, and of course that affected all of our operations. But RACQ played a pretty important role in a number of different ways. One, we had our assets on the ground to help the authorities to move vehicles, rescue people, move property around, that sort of thing. We had our communication network working. We also had our road conditions reporting system very, very heavily used. I think at one point during the 2011 floods we had something like 15 million hits on our website. Since the experience of 2011, we've now extended our role a bit more. We've got a community response team. We have a number of vehicles specially set up so that they can get into those areas and very quickly set up a communications network and a means by which people can lodge insurance claims. So we have these large trucks that are fully self-contained with power, water, satellite communications. That peace of mind factor really is at the heart of what RACQ is all about. So essentially what that means is wherever you go, wherever you are in your car in Queensland, you know that you've got the protection of RACQ, who's always there to come to help you if you break down or get into trouble. One of the things that happened as a result of the 2011 floods was the RACQ brand, for the first time in a very, very long time, came under a bit of pressure, and the reason for that was that up until that point our home insurance policies did not include flood cover as standard. There were many, many people who were in our insurance book who didn't have full flood cover. A lot of our members were quite obviously disturbed and upset to find that they weren't covered, and then thought that we, being the organisation that we were, that we should extend that cover and pay them anyway, which is of course something we couldn't do. And also as a result of that, we then rapidly worked on in changing our policies to include full flood cover, which we do now, and so that won't ever happen again. We announced the creation of the RACQ Foundation during the floods and before Cyclone Yasi arrived, in fact. And what we did was we in that announcement we committed $20 million to flood recovery, and of that $8 million went into the RACQ Foundation, $2 million went to the state government, and $10 million went to our insurance business to provide ex gratia payments to our members who were with us but didn't have full flood cover. The $8 million that went into the foundation was specifically set aside for assisting community groups, so we made it the purpose of the RACQ Foundation to help them. And over the last 2 years, more than $7 million has been paid out to organisations, over 100 organisations right across Queensland who have had damage done to their facilities by floods, not only in 2011 but also the floods of earlier in 2013, and we'll continue to do that. It's an organisation with revenues of around $1 billion, net assets of over $1 billion. It carries no debt. We have a membership of over 1.2 million and growing. Our funds under management today would total about 1.5 billion. Our publishing business, for example, our magazine, The Road Ahead, we print nearly just under 1 million copies every 8 weeks. We have about 500,000 who receive electronic versions of our magazine. We have an insurance company, as was mentioned earlier, which has been going now since the 1970s. It's the 6th largest insurer in Australia. We are the #1 insurer of motor vehicles in Queensland. We now employ over 2,000 people directly and over another 1,000 in terms of our contractors and agents around the state.
Every year, the RACQ answers 6 million telephone calls across our road service, across our membership and across our insurance activities. 6 million calls, all answered promptly, efficiently, courteously, and importantly, each and every one of them answered here in Queensland.
In terms of road service, we attend around about 1 million road service calls a year across the state. Yes, one of the challenges of running an organisation like RACQ is because we are a mutual and our purposes are social, not financial, is that we remember that we have to operate with the mind of a business but the heart of a club. Firstly, we've established Queensland's preeminent voice in terms of activating and lobbying on behalf of motorists. Secondly, we've created a network of road service operations that cover all of Queensland. So wherever you go in Queensland, 24 hours a day, there's that mantle of safety that RACQ provides to motorists. And thirdly, I think we've built a really significant brand that stands for trust, reliability, support, and provides a range of very valuable services to its members that they can enjoy and benefit from.